want to rewatch. So if you remember, we have one more type to do in JavaScript types, and that is symbols. So it's actually not used very often, but I want to show you just because it's a type. And sometimes you might come across this, but trust me, people don't really use symbols. I've never used it in any of my codes before, but I used to read about it and I used to see it when people are just playing and like so. But then we also want to complete, you know, these 7 types of JavaScript because we've talked about the 6 types, but we haven't talked about the symbol. So a symbol is it's kind of special. We can do something like this in symbol. So if I do something like, let's say, okay, let me just write that symbol. So with symbols, we can do something like let's symbol 1 equals symbol, and you can see that it's part of JavaScript. What's it called? So I can do let's symbol 2 equals to symbol, and inside this symbol I can just give it, let me give it with 1, and let's symbol 3, oops, let's symbol 3 to be equal to symbol, and here what can I give it? Let me return read 1 back because I just want to show us something. Oops, let's read 1. So we have this, and the question is, what is so unique about symbols? So if I copy this line of code and I go back into my console and I paste this there, well, so if I try to access the first one, which is the first symbol, I got symbol back. If I try to access the second symbol, oops, the second symbol, I got that back. If I try to access the third symbol, I got that back, which is fine. But the unique thing is you can see that the second symbol and the third symbol they are returning the same thing. What if I want to check? So let's check. Is symbol 2 the same as symbol 3? We got false. That's strange. So even though they look like they are exactly the same, symbols are used because they create these completely unique types so that you can make sure there is never going to be any conflict in your code. Let's say you want to have something completely unique, you can use symbol. So the symbol value is used as an identifier mostly for object properties. So it is pretty much the only purpose that they use it. They use it as an identifier for object properties because sometimes you don't want object properties to collide. Let's say you have thousands of object properties, and you know that if they are colliding, there might be bugs in your code. So you don't want that to happen. That is when you are going to use symbols. So trust me, we won't be seeing it much in this course, and you won't see it, out in the wild too much. But I just want to show you, I just want you to know it regardless, because we want to know all the JavaScript types. So that is why we just have to talk about it. So that is that. And I think you have to sanction me. But I just want us to cover all this because, I think we are not really moving too fast. So that is why today I just want us to talk about a lot of things. So the last thing we are going to talk about is arrow function. And trust me, after this arrow function, you've covered 100% everything we have in JavaScript. And like I said last week, like you can just go ahead and you can brag like you are now a programmer. Trust me, you have. Because we've covered everything we need to cover in JavaScript. And the last one we have to cover is this arrow function. You know, this thing that is inside under JavaScript function. So we call it arrow function. So what is arrow function, or what is an arrow function? Well, up until this point, oh, let me break that.